have a lack of proprioceptors. What is that? Let me educate you.
I know what those are.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, great.
I work at a pharmacy.
Okay, tell me what proprioceptors are, young man.
I don't have time to talk down to you about proprioceptors, but I do.
This guy doesn't know. He doesn't know. But check it.
I just have to Google something. I just have to Google something real quick.
You were look at this kid. Look, oh my God.
Why, hello there, freak. So glad you could join us. Time to listen in on another seriously silly conversation with Gretchen and the Lukes.
Lukes.
I'm here.
Can you hear me?
I'm here. I can hear you. You are coming across loud and clear.
Too loud.
Oh, I don't know about that. You're coming across perfect.
So glad to see you made it to your destination safely.
Yes, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
What was your travel day like?
Oh my gosh, it was early. The flight was at 7:19, so nobody slept until we got. Nobody even slept on the plane, really. And then now they're crashed. So I don't know what to do. I'm not sure whether to wake them up and feed them or let them sleep. So.
Anything interesting happening during your travels or no? Just.
Yeah, not really. It was.
Did you all three sit together?
We were in the same row. Yeah, I was in the aisle and they were, Gwenny got the window seat. So. Now Ian will get the window seat on the way back. So it's the Lucas Fairness Code has been implemented. Although Ian was nice enough to give Gwen the seat, ladies first, I guess, because it was actually his seat to have.
But she wanted it for the takeoff view.
Yes, yeah, she was enjoying that, and then that's honestly it was uneventful. It was. We got there and just had to wait for a little while. We were in group 9, so we had high priority over groups 10 through 30.
Excellent.
I think group 9 is the actual last group that they serve. So,
that's good. I guess an uneventful travel day is a good thing in and of itself. I mean, there's a thousand things that can go wrong.
It could have gone way worse. And
got through security fine, no issues.
Yeah, that was funny. The only because there was such a long line, and then it's funny how people who work places and are used to being there tend to get short with you when you don't know how to use their systems or operate the way they want you to operate. Like I handed the guy all 3 of our boarding passes, and he's like, everyone hold their own passes. I'm like, all right, dick, you could just ask. We don't like how often do you think we fly together where that we know? And then someone else did something too, like the other security, the TSA person was kind of snapping at one of the kids for where they were putting their bag or something, but you put that on the belt. I'm like, okay, relax.
Oh, whoa. That would have triggered me, probably.
It did a little bit, but
not as much at me. But if I heard them bark at my kid,
I don't like that.
Rough. I would want to correct.
Yes.
I would want to say something. I think that it's hard it's hard to maybe. It seems like teachers are really good at remembering that just because you know something really well doesn't mean every person you encounter knows it really well.
Exactly.
But that seems to be sort of the only place of employment, institution, or business where I've ever been able to actually notice that. Like these teachers literally, their whole job is understanding that what they're talking about, you're probably not going to know yet. And so they have a different level of patience. Like I had one of those snappy people where it's like they just want you to already know it, like how they know it,
Yeah, because they're there 8 hours a day knowing it.
Exactly. And so it's like, why don't you know this? And when I was at the pharmacy picking up a prescription, I'm making my nice small talk with the pharmacist and not really the pharmacist. She's often back at that desk, with her glasses on, either counting pills or approving things. And then she'll come over to give her thumbprint, so it's like the pharmacy assistant first,
Right.
usually, that I talked to there. And then the pharmacist comes over. She was very nice. It was the pharmacy assistant, who was ringing me out. So I put in, my card, and I go to type in my PIN, and the little, I don't know what you call the machine that you either swipe, tap, or insert your card into, but that machine, when I went to hit the first number of my PIN, it like flopped down onto the counter. Sort of like if something isn't tightened,
Right,
and it's just
right.
really loose, whatever. I slammed it down, or it slammed down, and it canceled the transaction. It just kind of like froze all of a sudden. It didn't have it, but wasn't sure what happened.
It was equipment failure.
And then the guy, he's reading his computer. He goes, "You have to start it over. Hold on." He goes, "That happens when customers slam it down." And I remember thinking, what? Like even just now when I said to you, I slammed it down, that's because already he's burned in my head his totally insane, inappropriate response, because I didn't slam it. I just literally went to press the number.
You should have said, so you mean this happens every time your equipment fails when someone touches it?
See, if you've been behind me in the line, you might have even just said that immediately in that moment. That would have been helpful.
God, I hate people sometimes.
I just didn't. I just stood there for a sec and started the process over. And then I said, "Dude," I go, you know that I didn't slam that down, right? I said, like, it's broken. I didn't intentionally slam your machine. He goes, yeah, I know. It just happens, every time.
Okay.
And,
so that sounds like a YP, not an MP.
Yeah, right. And, this is not really an interesting story because I didn't escalate any kind of behavior. I mean, I was probably on my best, like, let it roll off, or water off a duck's back.
Right.
And even now, as I'm telling you this, I'm thinking how being mentally unstable and menstrually unstable, really adds a lot to your life, though, in terms of encounters, stories to tell later, because of the fact I didn't have any sort of reaction. I realize even as I'm telling you this, well, gee, there's not really much to say because I just didn't let it bug me. And but however, that if I go back in time now, it would probably bug me. If I had been reactionary, I would be like,
how about let's recreate that moment, and then I'll be the guy.
All right.
And then you can act now how you probably wish
it does feel unresolved. Yeah, it
so
does,
once you resolve that.
I didn't say enough words.
So go ahead and type in your PIN, and then we can complete the transaction.
Okay. Do I need to? Where can I tap? Oh, do I insert the card or? Okay, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I got it. Let me insert it. Okay,
Just
and then
insert it.
So now, okay, my PIN and
that happens every time someone slams that thing down.
Excuse me?
I said that happens every time one of the customers slams that thing down. Now we have to start over again. God.
Slams that thing down. What do you mean by that? I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, when the customer manhandles it and pushes it
down. Manhandles. Could you? I don't understand. I think we have maybe different definitions. What do you mean manhandle?
Did you push it so that it fell down?
Nope.
That's what I mean.
Nope. I followed the directions.
How heavy are your fingers? Do you have 10-pound fingers?
I do. Do you have a scale? I don't. My fingers are not that. They're not that
normal.
Heavy.
They look fairly normal.
I mean, I guess in terms of full disclosure, although I in no way am I.
Ma'am, de-escalate. Are you angry?
Responsibility.
Why are you so angry?
Hey,
you're the one that broke the machine.
I am talking. I do sometimes have an issue with not knowing the amount of force
Could you
that
excuse
I'm
me for a
applying
second?
with
Everybody
my
behind
finger.
her, we'll be done in a second.
Oh, no.
We're settling a situation from manhands over here.
There is an equipment failure. There's a dangerous equipment failure here because do you know if I had my baby or a kitten underneath this thing, what was it just going to crush their skull? Are you going to blame that on me too?
Man,
And
we don't
yes,
allow any pets in the store. It would have to
what
be a
about
baby.
emotional support pets?
You have an emotional support kitten?
I have an emotional support sugar glider who's small enough to fit under this machine, who would just be sitting there. There's no warnings. Nothing on here says enter your number with a light touch.
Ma'am,
Now, hold on, because you may not know this because it's not so obvious. I have an invisible disability, and I'm not going to tell you the whole thing right now, and I don't need your pity, but what you do need to know is one of my issues is I have a lack of proprioceptors. What is that? Let me educate you.
I know what those are.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, great.
I work at a pharmacy.
Okay, tell me what proprioceptors are, young man.
I don't have time to talk down to you about proprioceptors, but I do.
This guy doesn't know. He doesn't know. But check it.
Hold on while I Google
But
something.
he's too insecure to admit he doesn't know.
I just have to Google something. I just have to Google something real quick.
Look at this kid. Look, oh my God. Well, you know what? Let me tell you what proprioceptors are, okay?
Folks, we're going to find out what proprioceptors are. So if you could just wait in line for just a couple more minutes.
I'm working that line, okay? You got the people in your office. This is the line. We're the public, okay? It's us against you.
Ma'am, I can see by your medication that you're on fire right now, and that maybe we need to consider giving you one of those pills out of that bottle while we're talking.
Don't try to distract me to cover up your pretending to know. Proprioceptors are the things in various places on every human's body tied into your nervous system that tell you where your body is in space and time. So this can affect coordination. This can affect all the ways I move my body. So when you asked, did I press on that hard? Well, I don't know, because my proprioceptors don't tell me. I mean, sometimes I have gone to high five someone and it's been incredibly hard and they've kind of been like, wow, that was a lot of force, and I didn't know. So I'm saying, did I press the numbers hard? I don't know. But the point is, I still think it's a default.
Do you think it could be that instead of proprioceptors, you have amateur proprioceptors? Maybe that's the problem?
Well, aren't you just hilarious, young man? Isn't that funny?
The people in the back of the line are laughing. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you very much.
I mean, then let's resolve this.
Well,
First of all,
if you could just
my sugar glider could have been in a very dangerous situation. And do you know the fact that this is my emotional pet animal do you know what all just triggered in me during this?
Ma'am, there's no animals allowed inside
I don't think that you're going to be at the pay grade, okay, to resolve what's going on now. So could I speak to the actual pharmacist?
Cindy, could you handle this? I've got another one. No, it's a proprioceptor deal.
Oh.
Yeah. No, she knows what they are. Yeah. Oh, hold on.
He didn't, though.
Cindy's going to help you.
He didn't know.
Hi, honey. How you doing? What's going on?
Oh, hi, Cindy.
Hi. Did this machine crack on you again? This stupid thing.
It did
for everybody. It's ridiculous. I'm so sorry.
I didn't do anything inappropriate.
If someone had a sugar glider, it would crush its skull.
Cindy, I have a sugar glider as an emotional support animal.
Oh, they're the best for that.
In the store.
They're the best for that.
Well,
oh my gosh, is the little guy okay?
Well, I could have crushed him.
Of course you could have, honey. I mean, this is ridiculous.
I didn't bring him today, but just the idea that
the idea of it. Oh my gosh, that could have happened. Oh,
and
ridiculous.
Listen, I don't
this fits just like this. This fits right here. And then go ahead and type your little picture in there. Oh,
and you know what?
Look how delicate those fingers are.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. That's
I have to say that I don't like to complain. Okay. And
is this about Doug?
Yes. Is that what that young man's name is?
Well, that's what we call him, but I don't dig him at all, if you know what I mean. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Was he being rude?
He accused me of slamming down this machine, which clearly it's wobbly. It's like
that machine slams down at the least bit of touch. I don't know what.
Well, that's what I said.
Well, you know what? Oh, do you want to get some coffee after this?
Maybe. I mean, there is a Starbucks also here.
I can bring my sugar glider.
Do you have a sugar glider?
Of course I do. My emotional support sugar glider.
They really are just great.
He's in my hood right here behind me in my hoodie. You see him?
Oh,
there he is.
Oh, yours has got kind of like a gray brindle coat.
Yeah, go ahead and just hit
Oh.
enter, and then we'll finish this. Oh, Jesus Christ, it fell right on his head. Oh, you crushed my sugar glider.
Oh,
Oh, you bitch. You
no,
crushed my sugar glider with
you
your
told me
fat man hands.
you said it was the machine.
Ah, Doug, you're right. She
You
is.
should have. No,
Just, you know what? You're going to need to go to CVS because
don't
here
call
at the-
911. I didn't.
Oh, baby.
I still need my
Oh,
prescription.
baby. Oh, sugar baby. Oh, my sugar glider. Oh, he's not gliding anymore.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, he's broken. Where did you go? Ma'am? Oh, she's gone. Oh, well, that fake sugar glider worked again. Well, it's the only way we can get rid of these people. Doug, take over again. Good job. Does you feel better?
Hey, bro. Yeah. Yes.
Phew.
Yeah. Because he did accuse me of slamming it down. I totally didn't. It's hot and I didn't have the energy to get all riled up. But it was nice to get riled now so that
was good. Yeah.
feels complete. So I don't have a dangling rage out there that I haven't resolved with anybody.
What? You don't want a dangling rage. I've had a dangling rage before, and it pops out at the weirdest times.
Yeah, it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable.
No.
But so you today didn't lose it? You haven't lost it?
Yeah, you know what's funny is now that I'm medicated on Lexapro and Abilify, I didn't lose it at all. I didn't lose it on the kids. I didn't lose it on any people, not even on the lady who, when the plane landed and we parked, that she took her kid from the back row and walked past everybody while we're all waiting to get off the plane. And I figured, oh, well, she's probably got a layover. You know, she's probably got a connecting flight that she's late for. So I go and we go down and get our luggage, and there's that lady standing there just with everybody else. So she was coming to Cleveland also.
Okay, wait.
She was just cutting in line.
Question: how old was the kid?
The kid was old enough to walk on her own, so she was probably about 4 or 5.
Had you noticed any troubling behaviors during the flight? Like, was that kid crying? Did the kid look like it had been panicking, or like it needed to go to the potty?
Well, there are bathrooms on the plane, so I wasn't too concerned about that.
But they make you stop using them about 15 minutes before they begin the descent process.
But as soon as you're landed, you can
use
use them. You're allowed to use them as soon as you land, especially if you're in a situation. So I don't think that was it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can walk backwards and.
Then I don't know why she did that. I guess she was just showing her daughter how to roll when you need to, huh? How to cut. Like if you get up fast enough and go, you'll take them all. You can bolt and do that.
Yeah. And then everybody's kind of like just staring at her, but then they figured, okay, I guess she's got permission or something. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's just, but I didn't get mad. I didn't get upset. I even pointed them out to the kids and said, see those people over there? Those people are assholes. And I pointed to the kid, the little girl. And I was just like, your mom's an asshole. And the kid was like, what's that? And I go, just turn to your right. You'll see one. She's holding your hand.
Yes,
You're being held by an asshole. No, I didn't do that. I didn't do anything. I had better life through medication. I was calm and I just was laughing, and we had a good time. We had a good flight. We were it was uneventful. That's how crazy it was. Normally I have stories, about something that went bad, and
I mean, I can't. It's kind of amazing.
Should we recreate my flight and have something bad go down so that I can feel old feelings? You son of a bitch! How dare you? Not when I'm flying. Not when I'm flying. That's it. Everyone else get off the flight too.
Have you ever grounded an airplane?
No.
Like you yourself ever done? No, I haven't either. I don't behave badly on planes.
No, if I've been drinking, well, back when I was drinking, I would just get on the plane. I would put a piece of gum in my mouth so that no one could smell my alcohol, at least for a little while, and then I would fall asleep. I'd pass out. So that was the whole point of having a drink, was so I could just relax. But I was unmedicated at that time, so that was my medication. I was, using alcohol and probably pills to settle my nerves. So now I didn't have to do that. So it was kind of refreshing. Maybe I can be a better traveler now.
Maybe. I definitely used to. I like to bored at the last minute.
Me too.
That would be me in the past.
Yeah.
I didn't like to get there too early, and probably from me living pre 9/11, where there really wasn't the type of security at the airport where everyone could go, the whole family, everyone could come in, and so
they could wave you off right at the gate. They could walk right up to the gate. They just weren't allowed on the plane,
right? And so, which was that actually was pretty fun.
But I will remind you, back then, the other thing that was true was that if you lost your ticket, you were screwed. Do you remember that? Like in the old days, if you had a paper ticket and then if you lost it, they were acted like, we can't recreate that.
Yes.
There's no way we can do anything now. And it was a real, and I know they could, but they were afraid that someone else was going to grab that ticket and show up and fly.
Yeah. Guy, you're right, because none of it, we weren't doing any, none of us had any phones. None of this was happening.
Nothing.
Yeah, that actual paper ticket. Yeah. Would you receive that in the mail? I can't remember how we used to fly. I don't know how the hell any of that worked.
I don't know what we used to do, because I don't think we even printed it out at that point. I think sometimes we go to a travel agent.
So I remember calling to get flights sometime.
Yeah. This is back in the 1900s.
Wow.
If you're a kid listening, this is back in the 1900s.
Way back.
We had what's called a landline. Now, a landline is a pretty tricky instrument. It's like a cell phone that's connected to a wire, and it's in your head. It's like having a phone booth in your house.
They should imagine like a lot of string phones.
Yep.
All across the country.
Yeah.
Right? Because the lines,
two tin cans and a string between them is essentially the same thing. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So is there literally a line for every house that has a landline?
Yeah, I think every house that has a landline, it feeds up to the telephone pole, and then you have I don't know how exactly it works, but I think it's, I used to watch a lot of the Flintstones. And so what they do is they have a crow up there, and the crow listens to your conversation and then repeats what you said to another crow. That crow flies to whoever you're talking to, says that to that crow, and then that crow repeats it into the line. So that's why in the old days there was a lot of misunderstandings.
I like that. It makes sense, because a bird would be comfortable doing that job up high. But why didn't they hire the mockingbird? That really feels like more of a job, because they could even mimic the voice, the emotional tone, and spread it down the line.
Well, for that matter, they should have hired a parrot at least. I don't know, like a mimicking talking bird. So, yeah, I don't know the details of the Flintstone era of telephone calls. I know back then they also used a tiny dinosaur as a vacuum cleaner, so like a mini mammoth.
Yes, and they had one of those woolly mammoths trunks for their in their kitchen sink to wash the dish stuff. It's funny you say Flintstones.
And then we cut away to the mammoth, and it would say, "It's a great job if you can get it," or something like that. Hey, it beats working for a living, or some line like that. They would always have,
or just being out in a field homeless. Thank goodness for saving me, people.
Thank you, Fred, and Wilma.
Today, actually, I watched a short video about it's an old roadside attraction here in the United States. I think it's in Arizona. That's like bedrock land, like the Flintstones.
Oh,
that or village. Is
it the actual village, or did they recreate it? I mean, is this from caveman times?
Well, I think it is a recreation, because I think due to the fact that the Flintstones were just an animated a cartoon. They were a cartoon, right?
I'm not following.
They were.
We're talking about the sitcom, The Flintstones, where it was Fred and Wilma,
and Barney and Betty. Yeah, it was that was a cartoon series.
I kind of remember it as it was like a I Love Lucy kind of a thing.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you know what?
They were all barefoot. Do you remember? They were
and Fred, even though they wore like animal skins, colored things, but he would still have like a tie.
Yep.
The car that you
it's
did
the
with
same
your
show.
feet.
It's the same show.
Yeah, same show. Well, maybe this
was-
is the original. I mean, maybe this is even from the caveman times,
They
but
tried to do a movie about it, but it wasn't realistic because it was, that one I think was cartoon. No, that one was real too. Yep.
yeah.
No, I think it's a documentary. If I'm correct,
I'm just gonna assume you are. You're gonna probably assume you are. So
I
I'm not
always
looking to
am,
disagree. I'll just assume you are right. Could be a
Cool.
documentary. I I wonder if we're having a moment like you remember the dress, the
the
visual.
blue dress, the blue
Yeah.
versus gold or whatever it was.
Yeah, and people were seeing things differently.
They were seeing it like ridiculously differently. Like, whereas,
Yeah.
who's seeing gold? Like, it's obviously a blue dress. And they're like, who's seeing blue? It's obviously a gold dress. And it was like, what is wrong with your eyes?
I know. And right now I feel like, what? That is a cartoon. Who's seeing this as real on the film? That is ridiculous.
About the dress?
No, about the Flintstones.
Yeah, that's a real. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're right.
A cartoon. Or do you know what a cartoon?
Well, yeah, it's a
Name your favorite cartoon.
okay. That's easy. All in the Family.
Perfect.
Yep. That was
Okay.
a classic. Yeah, with Carol O'Connor. Was a father in that.
Yeah.
And Rob Reiner was a son.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah,
It's
that cartoon
it's
was
wild.
good.
I guess I have a different my vision works differently. So we probably see things differently.
Okay.
Because see, I saw that one as real, or meaning like filmed with real humans, not cartoon.
Right. Exactly. Like the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Bonnie. Right? Hey,
yes, Fred?
Bonnie. That's my Fred. Hey, Bonnie.
Yes, Fred? That's my Barney.
Hey, Bonnie, what do you say we do something that the ladies don't like?
Oh, I don't know, Fred. We're going to be late for work.
We'll go
I don't
bowling.
Oh, Fred,
We're
I
in
don't
the
know.
League. The league, we don't want to let down the league.
Yeah, but I promised
Barney.
Betty that I wasn't going to spend any more money on bronchial beer.
Oh, yabba dabba doo, bronchial beer. Oh, now I sound like Shaggy.
Yabba dabba don't, bro. Oh, yeah.
Wow, man.
Scooby-Doo.
Now that was a good
Now
cartoon.
that is a good documentary.
Oh, no, that was a cartoon, actually.
What?
That was because they had the dog talking and stuff, and that could never happen. So that was a cartoon.
No.
Okay. All right.
Well, not if you're behind the scenes. I mean, I can vouch.
What is wrong with your proprioceptors?
I know those peeps. I don't know. What
Do you
are
even know what a proprioceptor is? It's a sensory receptor which receives stimuli from within the body, especially one that represents or responds to position and movement.
Yes.
That's roughly. I'm paraphrasing what I remember.
Oh, you must. Oh, you just quoting Doug, huh? He the well-informed pharmacy assistant. He doesn't know. Nobody knows what proprioceptors are until it bizarrely enters into your world. I didn't know what proprioceptors were until doing my ADHD research. And then it said there's a significant lack of proprioceptors within the ADHD. I was like,
so talk about that for a second. What does that mean? Like what does that mean to you in realistic terms? Like if you have proprioceptors that are flawed.
So like here is something that will happen often to ADHD
example.
people. So like if I'm walking through a room, there's a really good chance that I might hit my hip on the edge of a counter, bump into the door, an edge. Like there's a physical clumsiness because the way my body is gauging how close or far I am from things is like, we don't get as much information. So it's like, it leads to clumsiness. And I see on TikTok a lot of people specifically talking about the ADHD walk, and then they walk real fast and then they go boom, like into a counter, into a cabinet. And I have lots of stories of my own life that are like, and then I slammed right into this, or like I've had at least 3 times that are big enough where they are still seared in my memory. 50. One was being in not study hall, but detention. Being in detention, and it was super
That's a big
quiet.
difference.
But except there's hardly any difference. It's like that quiet room, and you're meant to just be
But one is a scheduled class, and one is a punishment. Just that would be the difference.
Totally. That part was lost on me. But I remember my pencil falling, and I reached down to pick up my pencil. I was looking at the pencil. I slammed my face right on the effing desk, like hard though, like bam.
I feel like I have proprioceptor problems because I these things you're talking about are I'm like, yeah, I've done that. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, I've done that.
You might have proprioceptor
I think
problems.
I have goofy eyes. My eyes have a hard time with depth perception. So
because that could be another thing that could make somebody have those issues. Because it's kind of like the eyes are feeding our selves, our mind, or wherever the control panel, like whatever controls the creature. It's like getting information from our eyes about where stuff is, right?
Yeah. And
then with the proprioceptors, it gets it from, I mean, I don't know how it works because they say it's in your body, but it's not like an elbow or like I don't know how to see them, but I guess when I'm going to like hit something, there must be something called the proprioceptors that tell me exactly where to land my hand, and mine are off. And
it says that it's the reason why we're able to move about freely without consciously thinking about our environment. So it's the thing that it's like when you can breathe without going, I need to breathe in, I need to breathe out, I need to breathe out. Heartbeat. There's a whole level of our nervous system that works. I think it's called the autonomous nervous system, or at least it is autonomous. I don't know if meaning it doesn't need us to control it. So I think the proprioceptors are the space version of that, like space and distance.
Yeah.
You have to consciously think about it if the proprioceptors are flawed, I would imagine.
I think, very much so. And I mean, it's problematic. If you're trying to get something done, it's like there's no body muscle memory.
So you went to reach down, like it's like you went to reach down to the floor and you hit your head on the desk because you forgot that you.
It's like I didn't see the desk, or I saw the pencil. So, but still, it's even my eyeballs, because those work, should have told me like, hey, half your face is hanging out over this big desk edge and you're going in fast. And, but so it literally looked like I just slammed my head, but like in one of those hard, scary, violent ways, like not accidental.
Like you were one of those heavy metal chicks.
Yeah, yes, or just
head banging.
A bad day, like in the psych ward, like that kind of.
True. Yeah.
Boom. Which actually, this is probably not funny, but oftentimes, we're also looking to stimulate our nervous system. So I was just thinking how head banging and rocking and stuff. Sometimes you'll see.
Yeah.
The ones do, but that, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what I'm speaking of now, because I don't know if I'm out of ADHD territory there. I don't know about that. Well, but the proprioceptors. And that I am very familiar with, because I'm pretty sure that is what kept happening to me in gym.
Right.
Almost every sport, but specifically, I can remember playing kickball. And I would kick a little bit too soon, and the ball would roll under my foot.
And then you'd fall on your ass.
Or sometimes I would kick the ball, right? The ball would roll under, and when I brought my foot down, I kick it back.
Oh my God.
Like everything, it was like the timing was off. And I never had
you struggle with high fives. So like that, there's a real basic.
I mean, if you don't know where your body is in space and time, how are you meant to line it all up with others?
I should have known this was true when the first time I threw a ball to you, you ducked.
Oh, yes.
You were like, dude, what are you doing?
I'm like, I don't
catch.
I don't have a chance in hell at catching that. I just have to protect myself.
Well,
I don't know where things are going to be in a minute. I sometimes have had this thought. It's the opposite of penis envy, which I had when I was younger, of like, man, I could have more opportunities in society, or kind of being envious of the male's position. That's back in the day. But I also have had like, I'm glad I'm not a guy because I don't know if I could line up my thing to enter in the right spot ever. I
You
mean,
would
like,
have
if
a hard
coffee
time
comes
just
to the
peeing in the
penis,
toilet.
I was thinking of sex, but
Well, no,
that
I
too.
get what you're saying, but I'm saying that you go back, like, that's hard enough, but no pun. But the just lining up your urine stream into a circle, like
I'd probably end up
a lot of women
sitting.
don't realize how difficult that is because the stream is constantly moving. So yeah,
Yeah.
the proprioceptors are key for all of that.
They're so important. And you know what? If that pharmacy tech if there was a little more awareness, public proprioceptor awareness, the pharmacy tech might not have copped such an attitude.
Right. Well, maybe that's the
Spread the word.
movement. Spread the word. Proprioceptor Awareness Week.
They're important.
Is there a proprioceptor awareness month?
Let's start it this month, July.
Let's do it. I like it.
Thanks for the conversation.
Yeah, thank you. Let's do it again.